This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. Yeah, we're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Brad Powers on the program coming up in 30 minutes. He'll join us once a month throughout the college football season. Good to talk to Brad again coming up then. We'll run down week 4 in college football. Sal Palantonio on the program Wednesdays with Vito's son in an hour. Matt Humans, he's on an hour early today because Mike Palm's out of town, not on the show. And Richie Bachelari, his numbers have been dynamite in college football. He's at the back end of the program. 3-hour show lined up. We're super excited. Paulie, we have to start with this, I think, as we begin a little baseball today. We made a pretty significant mistake handicapping. I got to admit it, right? Got to raise my hand here. A pretty significant mistake handicapping and betting a Major League Baseball game yesterday. And it cost us here.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also think you're playing the result.
So I was going to say this, right? I think a lot of this is results-based, potentially. But let me go back because we were both on, and I think it was a popular bet. But the market, though, I mean, it was going back and forth all day long on that game. Eventually, when we were off the air, the Phillies got to like plus 112 here at Circa. Dodgers were minus 122. We made a bet on the Dodgers yesterday, minus 130. Got as high as $1.37, came all the way back down. But here's the mistake I think we made. And that is not being stronger or putting down a bet on the first 5 along with the full game. You're right. We can say that now because they were leading 4-0 after the first 5. And then all hell broke loose once Shohei Ohtani left the game. But here's why we made the mistake. Shohei has not pitched more than 5 innings the entire year. Right? Leading into the game, there was a very good chance that that was all he was going to go. But did he have a no-no going through 5?
Yeah.
So they have a 4-0 lead. The first 5 would have cashed. They yank Ohtani, as they have the entire year so far. And what happens next? The Phillies explode, and the Dodgers bullpen falls on their faces yet again. It's been going on all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the mistake that I think we made. You're right. Part of it definitely results-based. But also, I'm really kicking myself in the ass over that game last night.
Well, I'm not saying go the whole way, but it's how long are they going to do this?
Great question.
Are we going to get to October and the guy's throwing a gem? Sorry, that's it. You know, that's all you can do. I mean, imagine the moment if he hits a home run and throws a no-no in the same game. What could have happened? But you're right. The bullpen's a disaster. You have to look at it from the first 5 standpoint. It's the same way with the Yankees. The Yankees bullpen in September has an ERA of 8. What if you had Yankee run line? It's 10-1 in the 6th. Yeah. Twins almost win the game. But I don't know how long they're going to continue to do this. The bullpen's a joke. And 4-0 becomes a 6-4 deficit just like that. They come back to tie it, but they lose in extras. So that's a tough way to go down. And you're right about the first 5. But then again, number 1, I didn't think he'd have a no-hitter. Number 2, I would think at some point you have to stretch him out and let him go here a little bit.
So I think if this, under that scenario, as we get closer to the playoffs, and then once we are in the playoffs, if the same thing is unfolding and the Dodgers have let's say it's a 2-0 lead, and he has like a no-hitter or a one-hitter, a shutout going through 5 innings, and he's only like at, let's say, 60 pitches. If Roberts, someone on that, the bench coach, other managers like with the team, coaches on the team, need to say, sorry, pal, you can't go to the mound. You have to allow him to come back out for the 6th, whatever inning it might be in.
Yeah, I love that. That's like the Chris Russo angle. Get off the mound.
Yep.
As soon as they come out, the pit, just get off the mound.
Shohei basically gives him the middle finger.
That's right.
Sorry, boys, not tonight. This is my ball game.
Yeah.
And I want to see that from him eventually if that's going to be the case. Because their bullpen has been like this, the entire year?
Yeah.
Plus they had a zillion injuries throughout.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now the Phillies, I mean, with the Brewers win yesterday, but the Phillies are right on their heels to be the number 1 overall seed in the National League.
They are hot.
I guess
playing
maybe
great ball. 15-4 run. Absolutely. Sweeping the Mets. They can sweep the Dodgers in L.A. for the first time since 2011.
Wow.
But that's the one the Dodgers blew. And again, the Padres can't take advantage. It's sitting right there for them. And they can't take advantage, and King gives you nothing. Game was over in the first inning.
Yep, he exploded as soon as the game started.
Yep. But I also know you're fired up because of what happened last night. and your Mariners tickets and your dumper tickets. I mean, I played the position, and I know they call it the tools of ignorance. And I've told the story many times where it's in summer ball, it's hot. The last thing you want to do is go up at bat. You just want to get it over with and put the gear back on and get out of the sun because it's so damn hot. But what Raleigh's doing, and finally you saw him move in the marketplace after he hits 2 bombs. You pass Mickey Mantle for most home runs by a switch hitter. You already just beat Javi Lopez's record for most home runs by a catcher in a season. Oh, you set the franchise record. Griffey's off the list now, too. So he's going to hit 60 home runs, calling the game, working with the pitching staff, maybe winning the division, going to the playoffs, and we're going to give it to a guy who's DHs in an outfield.
Yeah.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not going to do that. I like what Brock Heward said, and I know some of you might get mad, but ignore the analytics. Just watch what your eyes tell you. Watch the game. Look at what he's doing. He is playing the most demanding, difficult position and producing at the plate, and I never have ever been an average guy. We're not about average. It's about home runs, driving guys.
No, a long time.
No. So I know there's a big difference here in average, but there's also a huge difference in the position you play. Raleigh is the MVP.
Okay, so this is the tweet that you're talking about from Brock Heward. Again, keep in mind here that he is a Seattle guy.
Yeah.
And he tweeted out after the 2 home runs last night by Big Dumper, and he said, enough with any of the nonsense. OPS, WAR, WRC plus OPS. He said, use your eyes. What Raleigh is doing has never been done in the history of the game at catcher, and that doesn't even do justice because of the Platinum Gold Glove, too. He's the MVP, period. First player Major League Baseball history from OptaStats to have a multi-homer game against 10 different teams in the same season. So I got a lot on this. When you compare the overall numbers between the two guys, at Baseball Reference and StatHead, Judge is blowing him away in WAR, 8.4 to 6.5. But if you use FWAR, which is Fangraphs, it's actually 8.8 to 8.4. And Mark DeRosa had a great 5-minute breakdown on MLB Network last night when he pointed out, and they had graphics up for this, saying that the best F4 ever by a catcher is Posey at 9.8, Johnny Bench 9.2, Mike Piazza 8.4. Raleigh is at 8.4 right now. When you adjust the ballpark, Raleigh's numbers are very close to Judge because that is not a pitcher-friendly ballpark up in Seattle. There's also this. 21 of his home runs are from the right side. In 193 plate appearances, that's a pace of 71 home runs if he batted right-handed the entire time. So I'm not even going to have an opinion on this. Here's all I'm going to present to you, is that it's actually a question. How will voters look at this at the end of the year? If we could only be a fly on the wall or see some of their texts as they're going back and forth. Well, how do we look at this?
Well, they're 110 in a row, too, at the right time.
Sure, and that's what if they win their division and the Yankees finish as a wild card team? And then it comes down to, will voters actually embrace metrics, which have been so big in baseball now for many years, like WAR, like WRC+, or will they look at it and say exactly what Paulie just did? This is history, man. It's the best year ever by a catcher. He's a Gold Glove behind the plate. It's the best season ever, not even close. History of that position by anybody to ever play it. Or will they say Judge has better numbers overall? So, and then I'll follow it up by asking, I think it's a lot closer than what the odds are telling us. And I think this is kind of a coin flip.
Yes, good point.
And then so if you would agree that it's a coin flip or closer to that, then I think you almost have to take the plus 475 that's still out there. Yeah,
and Judge was minus 1,000 not that long ago, 1,200. And then the big game last night, he's down to 3-1 at DraftKings. Well, I read that article on air last week from ESPN.com. They asked all their writers, who's the MVP? They said Raleigh's going to win it. They're going to be close, but Raleigh's going to win it. I think the odds are wrong.
I think, if this was, let me put it this way. If Aaron Judge was like minus 120 right now and Raleigh was even money, this would not even be that big of a heated discussion. But we're a betting network here, and you can still get, that seems really lopsided based on what you're reading, what other people have said on Major League Baseball Network, and the fact that this guy, again, this is like MLB voters and people who, have been living and breathing this sport for their entire lives. They like history a lot.
Yeah.
The year that Porcello won the American League Cy Young, he had 22 wins, I believe. He won the award. No way should he have won the award that year over Justin Verlander. But he did.
Yeah. Handicapping the voters. It's tough. The New York angle could be huge here as well. But this reminds me a little bit of Thibodeau. The year Thibodeau won Coach of the Year. It's how was he 20-1? No one expected the Knicks to be good.
Right. Nobody saw this one coming.
Yeah, and Thibodeau won, and the big tickets cash, but you still got big prices on Thibodeau late in the season. But I think it's mispriced, and I agree with Brock, and I agree with a lot of people tweeting in about look at the names he's passed.
Yeah, exactly right.
You're talking Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey.
And that might mean something to voters overall.
Cubs won, they clinch. They're in the playoffs. They double up the Pirates. Reds get 6. They beat St. Louis and take 2 out of 3. Where was that last night? Shutout. They have 3 hits in the game?
Yep.
So 2 finals there. As the official horse racing partner of VSiN, First Bet's built for bettors who demand more. First Bet isn't just about placing a bet. It's about helping bettors of all levels with handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights to help you make smarter bets. First Bet's in-app tools give you win, place, and show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI. Take advantage of their limited $250 sign-up offer. To claim your bonus, use promo code VSiN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or at firstbet.com. Promo code VSiN250.
I'll point out one other number as well that is very curious to me. You're telling me that right now you can get Garrett Crochet at either 11 or 12 to 1 to win the Cy Young, which is a higher number than he was in the preseason. Wins don't mean much, but he has 3 more wins, more innings, 16 more strikeouts, and he's kind of right there with the ERA with Tarik Skubal. And he's 11 or 12 to 1. I'm looking at the Fangraphs projections. Skubal is like the favorite to win it, but it is not even close to being like minus 4,000 and 12 to 1 on the take back with him. So, again, that might come down to what our voters thinking about those overall numbers. Win, lose up next. And strong feedback to yesterday's show. The Frank B. story about helping a friend win a house was pure gold.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Pauly, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole 9, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next Money Moves, we're previewing Thursday Night Football between the Dolphins and Bills. RotoWire's Jeff Erickson will be on the show to break down all the top prop betting angles heading into that game in Week 3 of the NFL. Do you agree? Do you disagree? We'll debut our brand new segment, Hell Yeah, Brother, where we run through the biggest games in college football and the NFL. It's all happening starting at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Highest scoring game, Twins-Yankees paid 12-1. Most runs, Mariners 15-1. 10-game winning streak, 21 home runs, and a ton of runs during the win streak. Easy win last night. Brewers minus 250 up to 275. Cash it. WNBA playoffs. Fever plus 180. Blowout win. And Seattle plus 180.
How
What
about
happened?
that?
The Aces were up 9 with 4 minutes and lost the game.
They led like the entire time.
Yes, they're up 12 in the fourth quarter. They're up 9 with 4 minutes. They lost the game, and the 17-game winning streak's over. And now the season on the line Thursday. You lose Thursday, the season's over.
Yeah.
Incredible. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Frank B has had enough. He's not paying $15 for a beer. Going back to the 90s and the 2000s, he can't stomach that Vegas ever became this. And what it turned out to be, he said I'd buy a timeshare from Vegas Dave before I'd spend $15 on a beer, but deals still exist. $5 beers at the Horseshoe. Good job.
Well, they're adjusting. That's why.
That's right.
Right?
Good job there. That is excellent. How about a pizza heist here? Look at the pizza heist with the dog coming in. See this? The owner turns his head. The human's watching, comes in. Okay, he grabs the whole thing.
I was going to say, you got the whole pie.
Pizza, yes. He's got the pizza there on the side. On the hill. Right? And give me that. He just takes off. Sneak attack. Grabs it. No sudden movements. Very calm. And then, not just a slice. The whole damn thing. He takes off with it, and he's the big winner. That's excellent. You ready for this one? It's a French Bulldog video. It's a lose some. He got in. He's okay. He's fine. He got into paint.
Oh.
He's wearing, look at his face. And it's all over the floor. Yep, there's the footprints all over the floor. The French Bulldog got into paint, and it's everywhere. He's got it on the couch. It's on his face, and then, of course, it's on his paws. And he was walking around. He's like, what's the problem? What of it?
How long does it take to get the paint off the poor guy?
I've never seen that before.
No, neither have I.
Luke, bring those in tomorrow. There's a compilation of dogs going outside and getting the hose and bringing it through the doggy door and flooding the damn thing.
That's a fun problem to have.
Also French Bulldogs, too, a couple of them. Yeah, very good. Oh, the beats. Whiskey and a revolver. So bad. Yankees on the run line. 10-1 in the sixth. No.
I think, did they also have all those 10 runs through 4 innings?
I think you're right.
And could never add any more in the game?
And a 10-9 final.
That's honestly one of the worst of the entire year.
I can't take this team seriously. How bad is your bullpen?
Of course you can't.
Your bullpen's a joke.
But again, how many teams can you take seriously?
It's true. Guardians, Tigers under 8.5. 3-2 Cleveland, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, nobody on, home run.
Yep.
And then they get, 5? They get 4 in the 10th, and they win 7-5. How about this club? The Clase and Ortiz debacle? Clean out your lockers? They've won 10 of 11? Still in this?
What's more improbable, Cleveland or Arizona?
Good question.
I would actually lean Arizona.
Right, because they traded their best players.
Yeah.
And they were 10 back. I'll get to that coming up. Orioles on the run line. 8-1 in the 8th. 8-7 final. Marlins on the run line. 6-0 in the 8th. 6-5 final. What is going on?
It's, Paul, it's whiskey and a revolver every night.
And one more in soccer. How about Champions League? Dortmund. They led 4-2. They gave up a goal in the 94th and the 96th minute.
It's just pure torture.
Against Juventus.
See, to me, that's worse. That's probably worse than the baseball beats.
2 goals in 2 minutes in a soccer match? Yeah. Or the line moves. Sharp Plays is already there. Jeff and the crew do a great job. They don't follow the market. They help move it. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, market-moving insights, great stories, connected, sent straight to your inbox or X feed. Doing it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com and stay ahead of the line. Sharp Plays.
It looks like every book has moved Cal Raleigh down.
Lowest?
Plus lowest? 280 now.
Who's got the highest you mentioned?
3-1 is the best I could find.
Oh, you did? Okay.
That's it. I was able to grab a little plus 475 earlier today. And he was as high as plus 550 last night during the game still.
Okay.
Is 3-1 still worth a bet in your opinion?
Yes. To me, it's all. What if he hits 60 home runs? That's another angle.
Yeah.
He's checking all the boxes here.
DeRosa said that last night on MLB Network. He said if he hits 60 or 62, it's over with.
Okay.
But does he even have to hit that many?
I know. Mitch tweeted this out. I retweeted him. Go back and always listen to the podcast. Follow the money. I love Frank B. Love the stories. And a great reaction yesterday. I love you just overwhelm them with credibility. Telling the story about going up there with a different ID and trying to enter the picks for his buddy who won the house. But his stories and just, I didn't even know the blackjack background. I always thought he was a pro bettor from the get-go. I didn't know he was with Anthony Curtis with the blackjack. But that's a guy I could listen to 3-4 hours, and I love he's going to be a regular guest. And he told the story off the air. You know, you talk to Randy McKay, you talk to these guys, you hear just about everything in every story. He was to term a word I've never heard of before. With a machine was a skipper.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I can't wait to hear that story the next time he comes in. But I was blown away and just loved talking to the guy. Great guest.
So a lot of the feedback that we got on him as well. ftm@vsin.com is the email, always open. This was from Luis. He said, boy, Frank, it was so good. Used PTSD and Stockholm Syndrome in the same conversation. As a psychologist, I respected his description of what people go through with Survivor, as he is a seasoned, successful bettor. Mm-hmm. Imagine the newbies. His comments about Vegas are now spot on, and I have not been there in many years. Not sure I'm in a hurry of going there. I hate being charged for so much BS. That was from Luis, ftm@vsin.com, and we had many emails very similar to that, and basically just saying that I could watch this guy all day long on the show, and that was one of the best appearances that people have ever heard. This is from Ken, ftm@vsin.com again. Could be the greatest thing I've ever watched. I love your guys' show, but today was truly special. His description of the old sports books and pounding the streets to get the best lines brought back such good memories of how this town used to operate.
Yeah, better have good shoes.
No Don Best screen, limited access to internet, and probably 40 different sports books making their own lines and taking bets. So it was, and no cell phones, by the way. You'd have a pager, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and those Stardust payphones got a workout. There's a bunch of them outside.
So his Survivor strategy talk was awesome, and he put it into perspective, like Luis was talking about. I mean, you go through this during the football season. You put yourself through, if you're going to be in this thing for a long time, it's either going to end up usually in an excruciating beat, or you advance long enough to live through 4 games that are going to give you a heart attack.
Yeah.
And then the season's over and you're like, I'm never going to do that again. And then, time goes on. You have the itch for football and you're like, of course I'm going to do this. And then it gets right back and you're like, I'm on Dallas, as he was with half of his Survivor entries. And he's watching it with buddies who they have Dallas on bets, but not in Survivor. And as soon as they won the game, they tell him, hey, you won. He's like, yeah, I did. Hold on a second. No, I didn't. What did I win? Now I'm on to week 3. That's it.
More torture.
The only thing I did is give myself, a heart rate of 212 for 4 hours, and I get to go through this again probably next week.
Okay. The other thing I wanted, just run down everyone that was on the payroll. Run it all down. Lie detector test guy? Mm-hmm. Fake ID guy?
The fake ID guy, that's just...
Need him in a hurry.
In a pinch.
Yeah, I need you in I need it now. 2 hours. Come on.
So,
coming over.
Right,
it's right out of Mission Impossible or of a movie where the guy pulls out the drawer and he's got all the different passports.
Right. I need a mask. I need to look like this guy, and I need it in a jiffy. But he's telling that story about the fake ID, and the guy who's in the blackjack group, he's like, okay, I'll get it for you by tomorrow. And the deadline to put these picks in was by 9 a.m. And Frank goes, I don't think so. You're going to get on this fake ID right now. And the guy's like, it's going to take a while. Don't care. Get it done for me. And he's like, how many times have I done you a favor?
Throw me one.
And the guy had everything to make it. And sure as you know what, within 90 minutes, buddy, late at night, here's your fake ID. But overwhelm them with credibility, like you said?
Gonna have all the chips up there, yeah.
Were you nervous doing that? Not at all. He had been through the ringer so many times.
Right,
He's like, No, I was ready to rock and roll, man.
I love the story you shared when you're talking about all the stories and life experiences over lunch. And, no need to write this down. I have it all.
Oh, so good. I'm taking notes on my phone. He's giving me story after story.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me and he goes, don't take any notes. I've cataloged my entire life. Oh, amazing. All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We will catch up with professional sports bettor Brad Powers coming up next. We will run down the schedule of games in college football, a lot of really good games on the schedule, and get some of his best bets for the week next.
There's no better time to join VSiN Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days, or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL betting guide, as well as the college football betting guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days, or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV, listening on SiriusXM channel 158, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, or any of our great affiliates across the country right now. We head out to the Progressive Guest Line. It's great to catch up with an old friend of the show, professional sports bettor Brad Powers, on the program. He's now with Covers.com, and you can follow him on X at BradPower7. Hey, pal, good to talk to you. How you been?
Long time no talk, guys. Hopefully your season, all your viewers treating you so far so good.
Back at you. Let's begin with a huge tilt that we have coming up early on Saturday in the Big 12 as Texas Tech takes on Utah. Some books opened up Utah as high as 4. It has settled back into 3. Both teams are off to amazing starts. Did you bet this game overall? What would you do with it right now for the audience? And what is your overall analysis of this contest?
Yeah, I did bet it. You mentioned the keyword early. So first thing I was thinking is, 10 a.m. local start time. Two teams, offenses have looked great so far, but they haven't played anybody with a pulse defensively, and now they are. So I went to look at first half under and bet it this morning. Was able to find a 29.5, one widely available, but I feel pretty confident in that one. Even 27.5, I think, is an okay bet. As far as the side or total full game, again, it's, we're talking a key number here. I laid a little extra juice and laid the 2.5 with Utah. I trust Whittingham more than McGuire as far as a head coach. I think Salt Lake City's a tougher place to play than what people at least give it credit for. And again, Texas Tech statistically has looked better, but again, they haven't played anybody. I'll say it again, with a pulse. The FCS opponent was one of the worst in the country. Kent State, that they're one of the worst in the country. And then Oregon State, who looks like they're already waving the white flag. So I like Utah here. They're just, to me, the more trustworthy commodity.
All right, Jackson Arnold Bowl, you weren't a fan of him at Oklahoma. I wasn't either, and he played well against Baylor, but a lot of it was on the ground rushing what he did. I thought it was a horrible spot last week. Didn't bother Oklahoma at Temple. What do you think of Oklahoma at home against Auburn?
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, it's not going to move the needle nationally, but for those that bet, pay attention to the market. There was a lot of early week money until at least game day. We didn't see any buyback on Oklahoma, but that was one way on Temple because of the bad spot. And Oklahoma was very mature about it, handled business, took care of business there. As far as this game goes, I haven't bet it yet, side or total. For me, initial gut reaction is dog and under, but I didn't get to the window. I didn't have the number I wanted. I'm guessing if a 7 pops, and it looks like it wants to at some point, I'm going to have to be in front of the screen because I don't think it's going to last that long. I'd be more inclined to take Auburn here. But nothing big. Great game, great data point for both teams. Could you still recommend Oklahoma to win the SEC at a big price, even though their last 7 games are against ranked opponents? No. I don't. I think they're a little bit better than expected, but I don't think they have the depth, particularly on the offensive line. They're banged up. They got a couple starters down on that offensive line. I don't think they're going to survive this gauntlet. I don't know if any team would survive this gauntlet. Yeah. It's arguably the toughest SEC schedule them in Florida. So they're a good team. They're a top 15 team in my power ratings, but even a top 15 team in the power ratings is going to lose 3 games or so on the schedule. Okay. Yeah. What do you make of this Tulane Ole Miss number? Opened up much higher than where it is right now. Some spots open, I think, 13.5 here on Ole Miss at home against a really good Tulane team. Were you part of this move to drive it down to 11.5? I am. I have Tulane. Very impressive performances for them so far. Taking care of business against Northwestern. Obviously, I wish I'd have known about the whole Katrina and the jersey thing, but prior to betting on Northwestern in that game. Yeah. And last week, took a lot of money on Duke, a lot of professional money, a lot of respected money on Duke, and they took care of business in that game until actually Duke scored a couple of late scores to make that final look a little bit more respective. So I like Sumrall. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country, regardless of G5 Power 4. Look, Ole Miss was fine last week with the backup. I expect them probably to play the backup again because he performed so well. But with that being said, Arkansas missed a couple field goals. Arkansas was driving late to win the game. They fumbled inside the 30. I don't trust this Ole Miss defense to cover this number, so I'm on Tulane here and the over. All right, you nailed this one last week. You said Miami would take care and cover against South Florida. Now they take on the Gators, and they 5 interceptions. Come on.
how bad they played last week. What do you think of Miami trying to get it done 7.5 at home against the Gators?
Yeah, I think if you want to bet Miami, you wait because there was so much Florida money last week. Just one way all week. Went from 9.5 down to 4.5. And it didn't matter crossing through key numbers. And those people that bet it had to feel like they had the right side, considering that, had Lagway thrown 3 interceptions instead of 5. You cover your bet. You might even win the game outright. It was a horrifically bad performance from Florida. For me, I haven't bet it because I think it's a good one of the better games to in-game on, because we're going to know right away if Florida's waving the white flag, if they got any fight left in them or not. Because sooner or later, when the losses pile up for Florida, there is going to be a give up for them. And then, playing for a lame duck coach. So does it happen here? I don't know. I did watch last year's game, and Miami just destroyed them on both sides of the ball. Yeah. I know Cam Ward's not there, but Carson Beck's playing as well as any quarterback in the country. And I actually but Miami to me looks more buttoned up, on both sides of the line of scrimmage this year. So I want to get to the window on Miami. I haven't gotten there yet.
Sorry, I was watching you on covers.com. You used the F word. You think Illinois is a total fraud here? Indiana 4.5 up to 6?
Yeah, I definitely think they are. I think they'll get exposed a little bit in this game. I did bet Indiana. I can't bet it at the current number, though. Numbers do matter. I mean, I tweet about it every week how much they matter. I can't recommend betting it now, but I think they get exposed a little bit here. But kudos for them. They took care of business even last week. What my preference is Illinois does get handled in this game by 10 or more. And then I actually can come back next week and play on Illinois when they host USC in a noon kickoff time. And I'm hoping SC crushes Michigan State. So I'm hoping that's the setup for me as far as value. But at current, I lean under in an Illinois-Indiana game. It's great for both programs. Top 20, NBC Saturday night. Who'd have thought that? But just a couple years ago, we get a matchup like that between these two.
No kidding. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, professional sports bettor Brad Powers. You can follow him on X at BradPower7. He's with covers.com. A couple of minutes ago, you mentioned the Duke-Tulane game from last week and how good Tulane looked. Now Duke's at home this week, and they're laying either 3 with like 20 cents of juice or minus 3.5 as they take on NC State. And you like the Blue Devils this week. Tell us why.
I do. Now, I wasn't overly impressed with their performance last week, but I do think we have a desperate team that's already lost 2 games. Speaking of the Illinois game, that was a very misleading box score from a couple weeks ago where they had 5 turnovers. That was just not a 45-19 final for Duke. So I think that as the season progressed, those types of games create a little bit of value. I think NC State's sitting fat and happy at 3-0. Statistically, if we look at it, just, simple. I know a lot of people like using success rates and all this other stuff. I'm still very basic, yards per play, especially if you have a similar strength of schedule. And the reality is Duke has a better yards per play margin despite playing a little bit tougher schedule so far than NC State. So to me, that means that Duke should be laying more than 3 here. And again, I kind of like the spot for him. So yeah, Duke for me, one of my favorite bets of the week.
UNLV, good story again this year. First-year head coach Dan Mullen, undefeated. They beat UCLA. I don't know what that means at this point. But now they're going on the road to take on Miami of Ohio, and the Rebels are laying 2.5. Years ago for me, this would have been an auto play on the home team here, fading UNLV. Is that the case in this spot for you?
Yeah, it is for me, and it's a good start for them. But, I mean, what does the UCLA win mean? Probably not much, considering New Mexico crushed UCLA the very next week. So I don't think that means much. Kudos. They went on the road and beat Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State hasn't won a game. Come on, folks. And that's a first-year coach. Idaho State, UNLV probably should have lost the game outright. They were like +3 in turnovers and couldn't cover a 30-point spread, almost lost the game. So I'm not buying UNLV, not buying the spot, across the country, 9 a.m. Start time for UNLV. Miami of Ohio's played a tougher schedule. They played 2 Big Ten teams. I like Miami of Ohio to win this game outright.
We'll get to more games coming up in the next segment, Brad. As a lifelong Notre Dame fan, 0-2, rough start defensively. Good games, but not in the win column for them. 10-2 if they run the table. I'm guessing yes that they're going to be in the playoffs. What about 9-3?
They're not in the playoffs at 9-3.
No,
they got to run the table to do it.
And are they definitely in if they run the table?
I think they're definitely in because the schedule's setting up that they're gonna. SC is going to be ranked. Keep an eye on Navy is going to be favored in every game but one heading into Notre Dame, so they could possibly be ranked. Arkansas is probably better than expected. So They're not going to run the table, but if they do, they'll deserve a playoff berth at 10-2.
Very good. Our exclusive betting splits cut through the noise, pulling real-time data straight from Circa and DraftKings. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport. You can make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today, just $9.99, VSiN.com/subscribe.
We'll continue with Brad Powers, professional sports bettor, coming up next, talking college football. We'll get some more of his best bets, including the best bet to him right now that's currently on the board here on a Wednesday. And I want to also ask him if there's a bet to make on which Group of 5 team will make the playoffs after South Florida. I get great start to the season, but they got drilled by Miami last week. Who should we be looking at now? We'll ask him next here on VSiN.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons, it's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Check out Stormy and JBT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money on VSiN.
Welcome back. We're live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino, as we continue talking college football and some best bets for this week. As professional sports bettor Brad Powers joins the program. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Follow him on X at BradPower7. Again, he's with Covers.com. And so before the break, I told you I wanted to ask you about with South Florida, great start to the season, 2 big wins against Boise and Florida. Horrific spot for them. I mean, my God, the schedule here. And then they went and got pounded by Miami last week. So at this point, should all of us be looking at a certain team to make the playoffs from the group of 5? And I'm asking you that specifically because I had my eyes on Memphis before the season started, and they play Arkansas this week. And what if they win that game, Brad?
Yeah, right now I'd have to go with Memphis just because the schedule sets up so nicely for them, especially the home schedule. And, the Liberty Bowl's been a pretty tough place to play and been good to them here in recent years. Starts with this week, an opportunity to have a nice win. They're only a 7-point underdog. A lot of people are going to like them this week because of the spot against Arkansas. Speaking of home games, they get South Florida at home. They get Tulane at home. They get Navy on Thanksgiving night, which could be a really big game on Thanksgiving night at home. So right now, my answer would be Memphis. Even though I think Tulane's probably slightly better than them, I just like that schedule. There's not enough separation between the two that, but I don't know if Tulane can overcome the schedule.
Okay.
If people missed your appearance in the summer, you recommended it and you said to bet Georgia Tech pizza money to win the ACC. Should you still hop on? 2-1 to make the playoff, 4-1 to win the conference.
Yeah, good question. I'm thinking about that price. I'm thinking because do I make that bet now? I think I'd be more inclined for the playoff because I think there's a realistic opportunity that they don't win the ACC, but still have enough wins to make the playoff. Because right now, the fact of the matter is, they got the big game against Georgia in the regular season finale. But up until that point, the next 8 games, keep in mind they're already 3-0, the next 8 games, Georgia Tech is going to be at least a 6-point favorite in every game. Doesn't mean that they're going to be 11-0 facing Georgia, but statistically speaking, they're going to be favored to do so, at least right now. So I'd be surprised if they're not at least 10-1 entering that game. As long as Haynes King, knock on wood, can stay healthy. But, yeah, I think they're probably worth a flyer, more playoff than conference. If Miami looks buttoned up on Saturday night, Miami's going to win that conference.
They look awesome.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
We briefly chatted about Notre Dame back end of the previous segment and their playoff chances if they go 9-3 this week against Purdue. And, again, the Fighting Irish, the defense, that was kind of ugly, again, against Texas A&M. And I get A&M's like maybe loaded on offense. The quarterback Reed is really, really good. But that was some ugly football on that side of the ball for the Notre Dame side. So do you want to go the over here against the Boilermakers?
I do. Notre Dame, speaking of the defense, I mean, injury-wise, Leonard Moore, I'm not sure he's going to play. Got banged up in that game. I know he continued to play, but this is the type of game you sit him out because next week you got a big game at Arkansas. So I'm not sure he plays. Aiden Schuler, their starting safety, got ejected in the game against A&M. He's asked to sit out the first half. I like the way Purdue moved the football against SC. You think, it was just 17 points. But they had not 1, not 2, but 3 red zone interceptions last week. Otherwise, they put up a big-time scare in SC. So I like Purdue on the side, but I do prefer the over because I am a believer in this Notre Dame offense. I don't even think they played that well last week and still put 40 on the board against A&M. And I think C.J. Carr is the real deal. I can't believe that he's the least amount of Notre Dame's problems, and Notre Dame yet still sits at 0-2. Because, I mean, let's face it, I don't know if there's a bigger downgrade in coaching on one side of the ball this year than going from Al Golden to Chris Ash so far. That's what I've seen.
Okay. This is it, I think, the final meeting. Iron Skillet, SMU, TCU, 66-42 last year, SMU, but TCU up to 7 here. What do you think? Because SMU's been a disappointment thus far, especially defensively.
Yeah, they've been a big-time disappointment. Even that East Texas A&M game, you dive into that box score, that was ugly. And last week against Missouri State,
yes.
Fighting, clawing, and scratching as a 4-touchdown favorite. and then, blowing the game against Baylor. So there's not one good data point for SMU yet. But more importantly to this matchup, they're banged up at multitude of positions. I don't think Jennings is 100%, even though he's going to go. They have multiple starters that are going to be out for this game. So I'd be TCU or nothing, but that's kind of gotten away. I mean, it opened 4.5 in some spots, and now up to 7. Numbers do matter, and TCU's defense doesn't give me a lot of hope, especially last week. They gave up a lot of points late. So I'm not too involved on this one.
All right. Another bold take. You fade South Carolina moving forward? Do you think they could even miss a bowl game?
Yeah, I did tweet that. And people thought that was a hot take. We'll go bet it right now. They're an underdog to make a bowl game. I think they get to 6 wins at one of the sports books. It's like plus 125, plus 130. Go look at the schedule. They're going to be an underdog in the majority of the games. Starting this week, I know Sellers might play now, it looks like, but they're still going to be a touchdown plus underdog against a Missouri team that's looked better than expected. It's been bad. Every data point's been bad. They got outgained by Virginia Tech. Guess what? Virginia Tech sucks, and they had to get a punt return touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
Next game against an FCS opponent, guess what? They got outgained as a 6-touchdown favorite in the game. They had not won by 2 punt return touchdowns in that one. And then last week got dominated at home by Vanderbilt. So I thought this team was overrated coming into the season, especially compared to the AP poll projections. But they're even worse than I expected. So, yeah, I think the most likely record right now for South Carolina is 5-7, a team that was, ranked 10th last week?
Yeah, and you, I remember that you gave out their under 7.5. I tailed that in the summertime as well. I'm with you. Look at their schedule, man. That is, I don't even know where, the cupcake is going to come from. Now, is this, you do a lot of your betting early in the week, but here we are on a Wednesday. Your best bet is on Western Michigan as of right now, plus 14 at home to Toledo. Just a numbers play again here because Toledo opened up 11.5.
Well, yeah, it always starts with that. I made it 13, so that doesn't sound like a big power ratings, disparity, but it's enough for me to make a bet. And then on top of it, let's start diving into the handicap. I think Toledo's sitting fat and happy off a couple of blowout wins, feeling good about themselves. I'm here to tell you, Jason Candle, when you start feeling good about Toledo and Jason Candle, forget covering a spread. He usually loses the game outright. In fact, he's lost 15 times the last 4 years as a touchdown or more favorite more than anybody in the country. Western Michigan's played a tough schedule. Are you kidding me? They played 2 Big Ten teams and a dominant North Texas team, who they took to overtime, could have won the game outright. So this is a circle of wagons for them. Let's play plus 14, but I'm telling you, I'd sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Jason Candle special in Western Michigan beats Toledo.
Give me that again. Say that again. How many times?
Jason Candle the last 4 years has lost 15 times as a favorite. I think it's 9 times as a touchdown or more favorite.
Yeah, that's tough to pull off. Hey, quickly, you mentioned North Texas. My God, they spanked Wazoo last week. That was an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah.
I think this game coming up this weekend is fantastic. They get Army. Any opinion on, I think it's right now 2.5 in favor of Army?
Well, I think North Texas is legit. Bet them to win the conference. Think that there's like 5 or 6 legit teams in the American. That's where your group of 5 playoff bid's coming out of. I need 3, though. If I get the 3, I'm on Army. I think, everyone overreacted to losing to Tarleton. I do bet the FCS. Tarleton might be the second best team in the FCS behind North Dakota State. By far, they're dominant. So that doesn't look as bad, especially the fact that Army went and beat Kansas State the very next week. So you give me 3, I'm going to take Army off a bye plus 3.
Is USC good?
Yeah, and I think they handle business easily this week against Michigan State's bad spot. Michigan State's banged up, but I'm looking to bet against SC next week. Noon kickoff at Illinois. I think they're going to be catching Illinois off a loss. I think I'll be fading the Trojans finally.
Good angle. Another one here that you like. La Tech laying 3.5 against Southern Miss. Yeah.
Well, a 3.5 price. I mean, 2.5, 3.5 when you're crossing. I'm not wild about it, but I do think Southern Miss, keep in mind, a lot of people love them. I think they're overrated. They've been outgained by an average of 68 yards per game. Very fortunate. App State had 3 goal-to-goal situations and had 3 turnovers. So I just think Southern Miss, generally speaking, is overrated. Louisiana Tech's defense, keep an eye on that. Really good last year. Thought they'd take a step back this year. It hasn't been the case. I mean, they held LSU in check. So Louisiana Tech for me. I think a cheaper money line probably be the better option now.
Okay, quickly here. Did you bet the Michigan-Nebraska game yet?
I have not. I need 3 on Nebraska. It's a really good game.
Yep.
I think it's a sneaky maybe over with Michigan running more with Biff Poggi coaching and Sharon Moore out. They're letting Underwood run. So I think it's kind of a sneaky over.
Very cool. Brad,
job.
love talking to you, man.
Great
Thanks so much for the time, and best of luck this week, okay?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Miss talking to you.
Same here.
You got it.
There you go. Follow him on X at BradPower7, BradPowerSports.com, and he's with Covers.com as well. He was on the Progressive Guest Line.
Every game brings new opportunities to cash in. If you got the right insights with VSiN Pro, you'll see real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits to know where the public and sharps are putting their money. You get the morning email from Bill 80, every best bet, every host, every guest, the nonstop live video on the VSiN Watch app, proven betting systems at VSiN.com. You'll have the tools to stay ahead every week. Start betting smarter today, $9.99, VSiN.com/subscribe.
I think he's right. A team from the AAC is going to get a playoff bid. It's just trying to find out which one.
I would still jump in on Georgia Tech, too.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Wednesdays with Vito's son. Up next as the great Sal Palantonio makes his weekly appearance here on Follow the Money.